Your chicken pecked you. Out of nowhere. No warning, no obvious reason. Maybe it hurt. Maybe it surprised you. Maybe it made you wonder if something had changed between you. Most keepers assume one of two things. Either she's aggressive or she's just being a chicken. Random, meaningless, move on. But a peck that seems to come from nowhere almost never does. And the real reason behind it, once you understand it, changes not just how you respond in that moment, but how you understand your entire relationship with your flock. Let's go through exactly what that peck was telling you. There is no such thing as a peck for no reason. You saw no warning, you didn't provoke her, you were just there, doing something normal, and she pecked you. You probably thought, that came out of nowhere. It didn't. According to ethologists who study behavioral communication in domestic poultry, pecking directed at humans is never random. It is always a communicative act, a response to a specific stimulus, a social signal, or an internal state that produced a behavioral output. The fact that you didn't see the reason doesn't mean the reason wasn't there. What this means is important. Every peck has a cause, and understanding the cause is not just useful for preventing the next one. It's a window into what your chicken was experiencing in that moment, her threat level, her social state, her physiological condition, and her assessment of you as a social partner. The peck you dismissed as random was actually one of the most direct pieces of communication your chicken has available to her. The question isn't why she pecked you for no reason. The question is, what reason did she have that you didn't see? She may have been asserting her position. Here's the most common reason a chicken pecks a human, and it's the one most keepers find hardest to accept. She was testing where you fit in her social hierarchy. According to research on social dominance behavior in domestic poultry, chickens constantly assess and reassert social relationships within their group. The pecking order is not a fixed structure. It is a living, actively maintained system that requires ongoing behavioral reinforcement. For a chicken that has become highly socialized with a specific human, that human can enter the social calculation. And when a chicken pecks a person, especially a directed, deliberate peck rather than an accidental one, she may be engaging in exactly the same social testing she would direct at another flock member. She's not attacking you, she's asking a question. How do you respond when I do this? Your response in that moment is more important than you realize. A startled retreat, a loud reaction, or a complete lack of response all send different social messages, and each one influences how she categorizes you in her social world going forward. And if this is changing how you think about that moment, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more keepers who want to understand their birds. She may have been redirecting frustration. Here's one that most keepers never consider, and I'll come back to why it matters at the end of the video. Chickens experience frustration, not metaphorically, measurably, physiologically, behaviorally. According to research on affective states in domestic poultry published in Animal Cognition, chickens show behavioral and physiological responses consistent with frustration when they are prevented from performing motivated behaviors, foraging, dust bathing, accessing preferred spaces, or meeting social needs. When that frustration builds and the actual source of it is unavailable or inaccessible, it can be redirected, discharged toward a nearby target. You happen to be that target. She didn't peck you because of you. She pecked you because of something else entirely, and you were there. This is called redirected aggression in behavioral science. It's documented in birds, mammals, and most social species. And it means that the peck you received may have had nothing to do with your relationship with her at all, and everything to do with something in her environment that she couldn't resolve. She may have been communicating a physical need. Not every peck is social. Some pecks are informational. According to ethologists who study human chicken communication, highly socialized chickens develop a repertoire of behaviors directed at trusted humans that function as requests, ways of directing human attention toward something the chicken needs or wants. A peck on the hand or leg, particularly a repeated, deliberate peck that doesn't seem aggressive but does seem insistent, is often this kind of communicative behavior. She's not expressing dominance. She's not frustrated. She's telling you something. Watch what she does after the peck. Does she look toward something specific? The empty water, the closed coop door, a spot in the yard? Does she peck again if you don't move? Does she follow you toward the things she seems to want you to notice? That sequence, peck, look, is referential communication. She figured out that this specific behavior gets your attention, and she's using it as a tool. A chicken that pecks you to tell you the water is empty has, in her own way, learned how to talk to you. The peck that seemed random was actually a sentence. She may have been reacting to something on you. This one surprises most keepers. The peck had nothing to do with you as a person, your relationship, your social status, or anything behavioral. It was purely sensory, and it was directed at something you were wearing, carrying, or smelling like. According to research on sensory perception in domestic poultry, chickens have highly developed visual systems with 4 types of color receptors, compared to 3 in humans, allowing them to perceive colors and patterns in the ultraviolet spectrum that are completely invisible to us. A button, a zipper pull, a piece of jewelry, a pattern on your clothing, something reflecting light in a spectrum that looked, to her visual system, like something worth investigating or something threatening. Additionally, chickens use olfactory information actively. A new smell on you, a different detergent, an animal you'd been near, food residue, can trigger investigative pecking that has nothing to do with aggression or social communication. She didn't peck you. She pecked the thing on you that her sensory system flagged as worth a closer look. Understanding this prevents a lot of unnecessary conflict. And it's a reminder that your chicken is experiencing the world through sensory systems that are genuinely different from yours. She may have been reacting to pain or illness. This is the one that matters most, and the one most keepers don't consider until it's too late. A chicken that pecks suddenly and seemingly without cause, particularly if this is a new behavior in a bird that has never pecked before, or if the pecking is accompanied by other behavioral changes, may be experiencing physical discomfort. According to avian veterinary specialists and guidelines published by the Association of Avian Veterinarians, pain-related aggression in domestic poultry is a documented and clinically recognized phenomenon. A bird experiencing internal pain from an infection, an impaction, a reproductive issue, or any number of internal conditions may respond with sudden aggressive behavior when touched or approached in a way that activates or intensifies the pain. She didn't peck you because she was aggressive. She pecked you because something hurt, and your presence or touch triggered or amplified that pain. This is particularly important to recognize in hens. Reproductive issues, including internal laying, egg binding, and peritonitis, are among the most common health crises in laying hens, and pain-related behavioral changes, including sudden aggression, are frequently among the first observable signs. If your hen has never pecked before and suddenly does, especially repeatedly, especially if accompanied by any other behavioral change, consult an avian veterinarian. Do not dismiss it as a personality change. How you respond to the peck determines what happens next. So now you know what the peck might have meant. The question is, what do you do with that? Your response in the moment of a peck matters more than almost anything else, because it teaches your chicken something about the social consequences of that behavior. If the peck was social, testing your position in her hierarchy, a startled retreat teaches her that pecking moves you. That's a lesson you don't want her to learn. According to research on social learning in domestic poultry, chickens adjust their behavior rapidly based on the responses they receive. One successful peck that produces a retreat can establish a behavioral pattern that becomes increasingly difficult to change. The appropriate response to a social peck is calm, neutral, non-retreat. Don't punish, don't reward, don't retreat. Simply continue what you are doing, calmly, without escalation, without acknowledgement. You are communicating. That behavior produced nothing. It's not worth repeating. If the peck was communicative, she was telling you something, respond to what she was communicating, not to the peck itself. Check the waterer. Look at what she's looking at. Address the need. Teach her that communication produces results. If the peck was pain-related, the only appropriate response is observation. And if the behavior persists or is accompanied by other changes, veterinary consultation. And through all of it, stay calm. Your emotional response to the peck is information she is actively collecting. A keeper who escalates teaches her that pecking creates unpredictable, high-energy responses. A keeper who stays steady teaches her that you are exactly who she thought you were. Your chicken pecked you, and now you know it wasn't random. It was social, or frustrated, or communicative, or sensory, or a signal that something physical needs attention. It was one of the only tools she has to tell you something, and she used it. The peck that surprised you was your chicken trying to reach you. She just didn't have a better way to do it. Now you do.